Yo, yo. Get this thing set up real quick. Give me just a moment. Let me make sure the sound's working this time. Seems to be good. Turn that down here. Alrighty. Hope everybody's doing well tonight. I'm just hopping on here to see if I can figure out this whole streaming thing. I think I'm starting to get the hang of it, but it's also a lot that I just want to talk about because, man, a lot of crap going on here today, recently, just in the world of, national security, psyops, that sort of thing. And I think what one of the things that's really bothering me recently is, how much people are trying to call this Israel's conflict and try to blame this all on Israel when this is honestly not an Israel problem. This is a United States problem. And it's been a United States problem ever since the Ayatollah took power in Iran. He stated that the United States was his number one enemy. And I realized the reason for this is because of the United States' support for Israel. So if you're going to claim that this is Israel's war, you're claiming that we should listen to terrorists on who we support and who we don't support. And I think that was the problem for 47 years. And a lot of the conflicts that we were involved in the last 20 years in the Middle East, we were fighting against the proxies of the Iranians when we were trying to avoid, I guess, the greater war of going after the Iranians themselves. Because they were not, the Iranians are not just a small, weak nation. Iran is a very substantial nation. Even with the economic sanctions that have been placed on it for years and years, it's still been able to build a substantial military, substantial stockpile, and it's kept very tight control of its people. And it's funding a lot of the terrorism, quote unquote, or the rebellious factions throughout the Middle East who have attacked the United States. A lot of people call this an unprovoked war, but I think this war was provoked starting with the Beirut bombing. And actually, I correct myself on that. I think it started with the hostages in Iran in the embassy. And when we didn't go in with full military force, we went in with a half-ass force, really, and we screwed up the mission. We basically told the terrorists around the world, anybody who is an enemy of the United States, that it's okay to take our citizens hostage because we're not going to do anything forcefully against you. We'll try to negotiate with you for a year or more until we get our hostages back. When that was the mistake from the very beginning. We should never have negotiated with terrorists. And that's exactly what we did when we decided to negotiate with the Iranians and the Ayatollah. Been in conflicts with them ever since, on and off, direct and indirect. They have taken our sailors hostage. They have bombed our military bases. And, you know, I don't know. Say what you will about Israel. I'm not saying that they're perfect by any means or that they're better than the United States. But I do know that they haven't been trying to kill my fellow military members for the past 20 years. And I do know that they've helped us when it comes to military strength and security and our interests in the Middle East. And yes, we do have a lot of interest in the Middle East. If we want to maintain the power that we enjoy around the world, well, that power has to be maintained somehow, and it's not going to be through talking, especially when it's with terrorists involved. So I think, you know, Trump talked about ending forever wars, and I think that's what he's doing. But he's ending it through war. Sometimes that's how you have to end wars, through overwhelming force. And that's what we weren't doing over the past 20 years. We were going in and nation building and doing that. And you'll notice what Trump is not doing is he's not demolishing Iran altogether. He's not destroying all the infrastructure of Iran. They are systematically taking out the military and what the threats are. And then now that the besieged have sort of taken over, they are trying to now work on bombing the besieged and get them out of the way. But Trump's not trying to build a nation. He's trying to just help a nation get back on its feet and stop screwing with us and stop screwing with all of its neighbors and stop giving everybody a hard time. I mean, honestly, Saudi Arabia is 10 times worse than Israel. They do things in Saudi Arabia that I guarantee you would find abhorrent compared to things that happen in Israel or what Israel does. But nobody complains about them being our allies. And that's another thing. A Saudi, in fact, killed a bunch of sailors down in Pensacola a few years ago. Went crazy, got radicalized by ISIS, and actually killed military members down in Pensacola. But everybody's complaining about Israel, and I feel like that, you're getting your eye off the ball. And if you think that Israel drug us into this because we have to protect Israel and that the only reason Iran hates us is because we support Israel, well, what you're saying is the terrorists get to decide who we ally with and who we don't ally with. And that's just not the way it works. And that's not the way it should work in the United States or with our foreign policy at all. So that's mainly what I wanted to say on that. And I hope the audio is coming through. I mean, we'll see. I believe it is. Now let's just go over here to X and see what else is going on this evening. Yep. So Iran, once again, has been getting hit pretty hard. And we've got all the propaganda here. Let's see what Trump had to say here. I'm trying to figure the sound out here. Give me just a second. I'll try to figure it out. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. Let's see. I don't know what the problem is. Mm-mm. Anyways, we'll just do it live. Figure that out later. Let's talk about it. So, let's go over here to our bookmarks. Now, Conan O'Brien made this joke, and I don't know if you can hear it. I don't know if I can get the...
It's the first time since 2012, that there are no British actors nominated for Best Actor or Best Actress. Yeah. British spokesperson said, yeah, well, at least we arrest our pedophiles. So, we got that going for us.
Yeah, so it's actually not true, because they've been having a lot of problems with those Islamic rape gangs, or Pakistani rape gangs over there in England, and they didn't arrest anybody on sexual crime charges. It was all based on government espionage that the former prince participated in. So what this also says to me, though, is that I guess there's American actors who are nominated because we don't arrest our pedophiles, and so the pedophiles are still there and able to receive an award. I'm not really sure what the own was supposed to be there, but to me, I don't know. I mean, that's a little strange. Now, this is interesting. Let's just talk about this for a minute. This is that Doge guy. What's his name? I can find it for you in just a second. Nate Kavanaugh. Nate Kavanaugh was the one who did the deposition here, and we'll listen to his deposition a little bit and what he did for Doge.
You don't regret that people might have lost important income to support their lives?
No. I think it was more important to reduce the federal deficit from $2 trillion to close to zero.
Did you reduce the federal deficit?
No, we didn't.
This is a history of the HIV/AIDS prison movement and its legacies in the United States. My book project narrates how activists fought the convergence of HIV/AIDS and incarceration from inside and outside prisons across the Reagan through Clinton years, and argues that this organizing holds legacies in the prison abolition movement of the 1990s to today. This is one of the grants that you or Mr. Fox identified as craziest of NEH, is that right?
That's right.
Why did you identify this as one of the craziest grants?
Because it references feminist and queer insights into prison abolition and LGBTQ studies.
Any other reasons?
No.
Examining military service from the margins, the complicated service discussion series will bring together veterans and community members to examine the experiences of service members who identify themselves as female, Black, Native American, LGBTQ, or an immigrant, the dynamics, reasoning, and strength behind serving a country that does not always serve you in return. Did I read that correctly?
Yes.
You and Mr. Fox identified this as one of the craziest grants at NEH.
Yes, it appears so.
Why did you do that?
Because it explicitly says LGBTQ.
Do you have any history in, like, let's say, scholarly peer review?
No.
Okay. So, but this judgment call was made by you and your personal judgment combined with Justin's personal judgment to cancel grants based on DEI.
Yes.
Okay. Do you think it's inappropriate in any way that someone in their 20s with no experience with grants or federal government was making personal judgment calls about what grants to cancel?
Objection. No, I don't think it's inappropriate.
Okay. Why not?
Objection.
Oops.
That would have informed your opinion on what grants to cancel based on DEI or not.
There were no books.
There were no books. You don't need any books. I mean, we don't need books to tell us that DEI is garbage. It's pretty obvious. This is when they went into the U.S. Institute for Peace, and it's now been renamed after Trump, I guess, and it proves that Doge and Elon Musk were maligned as unauthorized intruders when we lawfully followed President Trump's executive orders. So let's watch them go in here and try to get into this place.
Hey, sir, how you doing? Take your back up. Hello. No, well, yeah, yes, I don't know if there's a,
I recognize these guys.
yeah, and if you know them?
Yeah.
Okay.
How did this come to be? How did we happen to have people in the building?
He's the president of the institute, so he has the right to be in the
Well,
building.
that's yet to be determined.
You don't recognize that he's the president?
Absolutely not. No. I thought you told
You
that.
guys
Ken,
can-
hey,
you guys
George,
can
Foot.
back off,
Please.
because we're still.
Ma'am, we're with the police. This is not going down the way that you keep like it. We're gonna talk about it if you go. The FBI is coming as well.
This is the president right here.
Keep this.
However we need to.
This is police state action, folks. I want you to know this is absolute jack.
It's not a police.
This is police state action.
This is the law. This is not the law.
You will follow the law, and we will follow the
Who
law.
are you?
And we'll be fine.
Who are you? You're not gonna tell me who you are?
The board has made Mr. Jackson the acting president.
Go ahead.
We've talked about this in front of you.
Hey, she's raising you.
So,
According to who, sir?
and how,
Be the side.
you want to talk about the law and how the board was?
No,
So
we don't
the
really want
board-
to talk.
No, you don't
It's
want
been
to.
decided.
It hasn't been decided. It's going to be decided by a judge.
Okay.
So,
It's great. Well, is the judge here today?
no, he's not here. You're here with.
I'm here with papers. There's no muscle. These five gentlemen are here.
There's a policeman here enforcing, escorting you into the building. How did you want to in the building in the first place?
I've already told you, he's the president of the institute. He has the right to be in the building.
You guys are right, that's different from how we got into the building.
We don't have to answer any of your
You're not gonna
questions.
tell me? Because, you know, from our view, you're trespassing.
Hold on.
Yes.
Do you all work for USIP?
We are the outside counsel.
You do not work for USIP. So why are we even, why are we having this
Within your right to
conversation?
We're the lawyers.
I'm not sure.
Like, why are you here?
But if you don't work at this agency or this institute, I think we have a problem, right? We have a
From our
problem.
perspective.
Yeah, we got a
don't
problem.
work for the agency. You certainly don't work for them. I mean, I understand that your position is institute, you don't work for the
This
agency.
is going sideways very quickly.
I think so too.
And I think I'm on higher ground than the two of you.
Yeah,
It's going
not in a way you think it is.
And if you want to hold on to, you're going to run this institute from your law firm, that's not a hill you want to die on. That's all.
And for what purpose are you guys?
I'm asking the questions here, okay? I'm the president of this institute.
Yeah.
I'm asking the questions, not you.
I'm the captain now. Look at me. I'm the captain.
Be done here for the moment.
That's fine.
I think that is wise.
Gentlemen, you're here escorting these folks into the building?
No, we got called in reference to what was going on, so that's how we ended up here.
And if the president of the institute is in his office upstairs, tells you that these are unauthorized intruders, what would you do?
You know, as of right now, Mr. Jackson is the
You're the unauthorized intruder.
According to
all the documents that we've seen, the paperwork we've seen.
What are the paperwork that you've seen?
What's that?
What's the paperwork that you've seen?
This paperwork.
The same paperwork you've been emailing. Okay, this is how it's going to go down.
Appointing Mr. Jackson as the acting president of the institute.
Okay, but, I mean, if there are other people on the board.
No, there are not.
Okay.
They've
Well,
all been
thank you for
removed.
your service, and we're gonna move on.
Here's President Trump's
We're gonna move on.
email to the members,
Are you a
previous
lawyer?
members.
Can I have your card?
Not right now.
Okay, are you Jacob?
I am not Jacob. I'm not gonna answer any more questions.
I know
But
your
can you
name.
both please
Nice to meet
leave
you.
the institute?
no, I don't think we're going to leave these.
We're finished
Oh,
here.
I think you will.
Not allowed-
I've been ordered not to let anyone pass you,
So please don't walk this way. And that's 4 of you are not coming back in today, okay? That's where we are.
You've got guns, I don't. I have personal property upstairs. Could you escort me up to retrieve it?
That'll be a judgment call. We're gonna need to
There,
get
there's
upstairs first.
some legal documents, confidential legal material. Won't you let me retrieve my
Are they
office material?
specific to this institute or other cases you have?
Other cases. We're lawyers, we're outside lawyers.
Yeah,
It's a,
well,
it's a laptop computer.
we're in shutdown mode.
You won't
we're
let
in
me-
shutdown
You won't
mode.
let me
You're in
retrieve
shutdown
my-
mode.
We need to get up. We'll let you get your things. We need to get inside, and we need to have a meeting. And we're happy to let you get your personal property, but we need to have our meeting inside first. Thank you.
Wait, you guys out this way?
Yeah, it sounds like that's the only way that appears to work.
Are you kicking us out of the building?
Yes, sir.
I thought he said we could go up and get our personal stuff.
After we have our meeting. Right now, we're
Let's
locked
stick
down
them
mode.
around first.
Yep.
You guys put it in lockdown, that's good. Just escort them out.
Okay, can you come this way with us, please?
All right. So I just thought that was pretty interesting. A nice little glimpse into what they did or what they had to go through whenever Doge was going in and trying to clean up the government waste. And wish they had done more. I wish they could have gotten to the Somali leering centers in Minnesota, but there's a post by the drunk Republican. I always love his posts. He's got always got the funny posts. I like the drunk Republican. I don't like being drunk, and I like some Republicans, but I like the drunk Republican. Now, this was, I thought this was kind of funny too. This photo here from January 17th hits differently now. And, yeah, I mean, if you just look at Trump's face, I'm trying to move this around a bit. Yeah, look at Trump's face here. Just cheesing. You ever seen Trump smile like that before in a picture? I don't know. But then you got to wonder, was Tucker in on it? So if you're not familiar with the situation, Tucker, it turns out, Tucker was in Iran right before we went in and took out all of their leadership. In other words, right before the invasion. And now he is claiming that the CIA basically spied on him while he was, I don't know if while he was in Iran or if it was afterwards or before, I don't know. But basically, he's claiming the CIA spied on him, and now there's allegations that it could have possibly been a violation of FARA. And then treason is getting thrown around a lot right now on X, and that is in response to, or really in relation to Trump's Truth Social post over here, and CanCon posted about it. But here's the post. Iran has long known as a master. Oh, excuse me. Let me start again there. Iran has long been known as a master of media manipulation and public relations. They are militarily ineffective and weak, but are really good at feeding the very appreciative fake news media false information. Now, AI has become another disinformation weapon that Iran uses quite well, considering they are being annihilated by the day. They showed phony kamikaze boats shooting at various ships at sea, which looks wonderful, powerful, and vicious, but these boats don't exist. It's all false information to show how tough their already defeated military is. The 5 U.S. refueling planes that were supposedly struck down and badly damaged, according to Wall Street Journal's false reporting, and others, are all in service, with the exception of one. Pardon me, that's not an ad placement. That's just a sip. Wet in the whistle. Where were we? We'll start with the 5 U.S. refueling planes that were supposedly struck down and badly damaged, according to the Wall Street Journal's false reporting, and others, are all in service, with the exception of one, which will soon be flying the skies. Buildings and ships that are shown to be on fire are not. It's fake news generated by AI. For instance, Iran, working in close coordination with fake news media, shows our USS Abraham Lincoln aircraft carrier, one of the largest and most prestigious ships in the world, burning uncontrollably in the ocean. Not only is it not burning, it was not even shot at. Iran knows better than to do that. The story was knowingly fake, and in a certain way, you can say that those media outlets that generated it should be brought up on charges for treason, for the dissemination of false information. The fact is, Iran is being disseminated, and the only battles they win are those that they create through AI and are distributed by corrupt media outlets. The radical left-wing press knows this full well, but continues to go forward with false stories and lies. That's why their approval rating is so low. And I can win a presidential election in a landslide, getting only 5% positive press. They have no credibility. I am so thrilled to see Brendan Carr, the chairman of the Federal Communications Commission, looking at the licenses of some of these corrupt and highly unpatriotic news organizations. They get billions of dollars of free American airwaves and use it to perpetuate lies, both in news and almost all of their shows, including the late night morons who get gigantic salaries for horrible ratings and never get, as I used to say in The Apprentice, fired. Thank you for your attention to this matter, President Donald J. Trump. All right, here's what's interesting about this, and I honestly didn't think about this until now, because, all right, for one thing, I mean, is disseminating false information treason? I don't know. I mean, that's a stretch. I mean, treason is giving aid and comfort to your enemies, but is sharing fake stories like a fake AI video. Is that really going to be considered? What kind of what kind of aid does it really give Iran? And at the end of the day, what does it do for them? I mean, it's not going to help them win. You didn't have Hanoi Jane get charged with treason for all that she did and all her anti-American propaganda and pro-commie North Vietnamese propaganda. So, yeah, I mean, Trump, he always likes to throw around some strong words. And, I mean, if you were knowingly working with the enemy, if they were consciously working with the enemy and they were consciously taking fake news or fake videos that they knew were false and knew were fake and trying to disseminate them, I mean, I don't know, maybe. But here's what he did not actually mention. He talks about the fake news media, false information, and all these fake videos and everything, but he didn't even mention Tucker. He didn't mention Tucker Carlson and how he was just over there and how everybody's now saying that he was possibly complicit. I just think it's interesting that he never actually mentioned Tucker in there. But we know Tucker's been in some hot water here recently. He, of course, Laura Loomer's gonna be all over Tucker on that one. Now, here's the thing about Tucker, and here's my stance on what's going on with him. I don't know if he was consciously working with the Iranians. It's possible. I don't know if he's been acting, and this has been like a big ruse going on for a long time, and he's just really fooling everybody, including the Iranians and the rest of us, just to infiltrate Iran and get some locations and get access to some people that trusted him. And then, we then use that information to take them out. I don't know. Here's the thing. He seemed pretty upset, and had this whole narrative of, oh, this is deceptive and our enemies are never going to trust us again after this. Like, well, okay. I mean, I don't trust our enemies right now. Do you think they trust us in any way? It's ridiculous. People are saying, well, we were negotiating in good faith with the Iranians, and we had the deal, the JCPOA, the joint, you know what I'm talking about, the nuclear program that they had with Iran, the one where Obama sent pallets of cash over there, and then they still took our service members hostage on the sea, our sailors, if y'all remember that. You can bring it up if you don't, because that is very relevant, actually. Because this is another thing that, goes along with the whole narrative of, this is Israel's war. No, this was after Iran had negotiated in good faith the nuclear deal. So obviously they weren't negotiating in good faith, and I'm glad that some sailors did get punished for this. A couple officers and NCOs got punished good, because they should never have given in and surrendered. This was such an embarrassing moment for our nation. And I think people underestimate how embarrassing it was, especially for military members. I mean, it's seared in my memory for sure. And So this, this always comes up in my head when people try to blame other nations on this war, when the one who's getting the warheads put on their foreheads right now are the ones who earned them, and nobody else did besides them. So that's not gonna go through some of this craziness here, but yeah, I don't even want to get into what that nut job is saying. Marge Cheney, man, I don't know what happened to these people. They really flipped, and they say, let me tell you something. If you think you got fooled by Trump, you are a fool. Okay. You didn't know Trump. You didn't listen to what Trump was saying, and it's not Trump's fault. It's your fault. So let me try this here. Now let's just watch this. I know this is going to be hard to show up on screen, but we'll try it out here.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
Mr. President, to Iran in this moment.
Don't.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
Mr. President, to Iran in this moment.
Don't.
I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care.
It's true. And that's not the only time he said that. There's other times he said that. Oh, look, there's us. Now, let's, there's another point that I want to bring up is, and a lot of people aren't talking about this, and that's another thing that bothers me, is everybody claims this is, anything that justifies this war is propaganda, but everything I've seen in the media has been totally 100% against this war and anti-Trump, and basically smearing Trump and everything that he has done so far in this conflict. So if the propaganda if I was a propagandist and I wanted to help convince my nation that we needed to go to war, I would be bringing this up a lot. And that's that a Pakistani man was convicted in an Iran-backed plot to kill Trump. And there's been crickets about that. And nobody's talking about it. And I don't know why. Because in my opinion, if somebody tries to assassinate our president, I mean, that is good enough for me to go to war. And that's the problem, is we've been so soft that we don't want to do the hard things. Sometimes doing the hard things first and getting it out of the way will make things easier in the end. And we're learning that the hard way right now. And we've got like Dave Smith, this comic, quote unquote, it talks about, this is funny here. I don't know if you all saw this. Reports that Brigadier General Mohammed Karami, the commander of the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps ground forces, has been targeted and possibly eliminated in a strike by the Israeli Air Force, according to the Saudi state-owned Al Arabia. But look at this cap he's got. Man, that is a cover. That is like Braxton McCoy is over here just salivating over that thing. Oh man, I put that on and cover up my whole body. Get a lot of shade under that thing. Yeah. Sorry, Braxton, I wasn't making fun of you. That's just, that's how I would say it if I was, Braxton McCoy and wearing a hat like that. Anyways, so everybody's talking about how, they want to ride or die for Tucker now, and they're talking about how they need to, if they come after Tucker, we're going to ride out. I don't know where they're going to ride out, but this is Tucker riding out here. He's bloop, bloop. Yep. Anyways, we had the whole Ryan Evans thing. I won't touch that tonight. talk about that another time. But here's another thing that's going on is the Strait of Hormuz, and the U.S. is trying to get the rest of the world to help out with clearing or ensuring the safety of passage of the ships that are carrying the goods that are, also going to be benefiting those other nations that have really just rejected the offer. So, yeah, France officially rejected, will not send warships. China, no response, called it a sovereign right. Well, of course. United Kingdom, discussing options with allies, no commitment. They're just they got that soft wrist and they're teetering on it. They can't figure it out. Japan, silence. 70% of Japan's Middle East oil comes through Hormuz. South Korea, no confirmation. Seoul caught between Washington and its own dependency. Yeah, so Seoul is like, I don't know. We should probably tell Seoul, I don't know if we're going to protect you. This is just ridiculous. UAE, Gulf states tried to stop this war, but they knew the implications. Okay, the UAE is not really trying to stop the war. I wouldn't say that. Qatar, they already stopped gas production, declared force majeure. Their energy minister said this will bring down economies of the world. Now, why wouldn't Qatar and the UAE want to help the United States? Well, it's because a lot of people within these two nations still have a connection here, but if you take the root out of here, I'm hoping that we can get this fixed up here. But we need to stop treating Qatar like they're such a friend, and that's another thing that I think we've been shooting ourselves in the foot with. I mean, if we were going to pick between Qatar and Israel, I think Israel would be a much better option than Qatar. But nobody seems to care that we are very close to Qatar and seem to be getting closer. So I think people need to wake up and see what's actually happening around you and see that this isn't another nation's war. This is a war that has been waged against the United States for 47 years now. Should have been taken care of years ago, but wasn't. And now it's finally getting taken care of. So I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up with that. That's all I'll have to say tonight, but leave me a comment down below. Let me know what you think about all this. I mean, it's a lot to take in. I know there's a lot of emotions and strong ideas going around, about who has the rights to what land and all that. But as I said before, my stance on it is the people who have a right to a piece of land are the ones who can hold it militarily and secure it from anybody taking it from them. So that's who has the right to certain pieces of land. And the fact that the Palestinians, they were given that land from Israel, that used to be all of Israel, but Israel decided to give them some of their land to appease them. And the thing is, those Palestinians weren't there before the Israelis. Those Arabs came after they started developing Israel, which was just a couple hundred years ago. It was Lord Montefiore. I've got a book around here somewhere on the history of Jerusalem. But anyways, once he started developing Jerusalem, and it used to be a dump, and that's the other funny thing is, Rothschild wanted nothing to do with Jerusalem because he saw no benefit in it because it was so crappy. But anyways, they ended up purchasing Israel. A Frenchman purchased large sections of Israel from the Sultan of the time of that area during the Ottoman Empire. And then once they started developing it, then the Arabs came from all around, all the different areas around. And that's when they started occupying outside of Jerusalem. And that's when those areas outside of Jerusalem started growing, because that's where people started living and they started building neighborhoods there. So to say that the Arabs have been there longer than the Israelis is honestly, it's not true. And if you're, I don't even like making the religious argument, because a religious argument can just be blown off by somebody. But if we're both gonna agree that legally, this is the way things should work, then we should agree that Israel has more right to that land than any of the Arabs do. So that's my take on that. But anyways, thanks for watching. If you're still watching, thanks for sticking around this long. If this is your first time, go ahead and subscribe or follow me wherever you're at. If you're watching me on Rumble, you can find me on YouTube or on what's this new one I've got here? This is Locals. I'm on Locals, Based and Biased on YouTube, and then you can find me on X at based_biased. And I hope I see you there. Leave me a comment on this. Let me know what you think, because I really am. I know that I'm just kind of talking into this, but I am interested in knowing what people think, and maybe change my mind. Maybe I'm getting something wrong. But anyways, peace be with you.